What is going on, people? Welcome. We are back for episode 78
78
of the top 78 of the top tier podcast.
Have to question yourself.
I was a little
Dang,
unsure, man. It's
come
been a
on.
little while since we recorded a show. My name is Brendan. You can, of course, find me on the YouTubes at youtube.com/Retel Factor. You can find this show,
1
the
second.
top tier podcast, at youtube.com/top tier podcast. With me today, Benjamin Espinosa,
Buenas noches.
Esports Money, Behr,
What's going on, guys?
and Billy, the Quinn.
Oh.
Billy
Retel.
Wait, why doesn't
Quinn.
Ben get anything? Hold on a second.
Well, not everyone has them. Like Lou doesn't have anything either. Lou's just
Lou-
Lou
Lou.
takes it.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
And I mean,
It's got to come naturally, man. You can't just
drag
force
me
it.
again for another podcast.
No, man, I love
Top
having Billy.
me.
What are you talking about,
Guys?
Billy? You're the most requested person.
That's a lie.
Yeah,
You know, I actually loved it when a little while back, you guys who listened to every single episode, we did the Christmas special. And I think at one point in that Christmas special, or maybe it was the one after, but, someone asked about shoes. And it was the first time in a long time that I've just seen Billy just go off on the podcast. It's just his topic. He was just going out and telling you about, the series, the models of the shoes,
Damn.
and, what year they came out.
I'm
That
not,
was,
I'm not even that big of a sneakerhead, too. It's just something, if it's a topic that I really am interested in, I do have the
Yeah.
knowledge and I do make my research. If I don't know anything, I'm not going to say shit because I'm not going to listen to
yeah, I was really interested, though. It's really cool. Sneaker head culture is a big thing, I
And
know.
yeah, Billy went off for
Yeah.
for 5 minutes. I'm
Dude.
just like, holy shit.
Yeah, everyone-
And I had no
You didn't
idea.
mumble once.
I learned something about Billy
That's
that day. And then later that week, I got to go into Billy's closet and look at all his shoes. And it was
Oh, did
sweet.
you?
And I learned something. I mean,
Oh.
because I love shoes and love clothing. And yeah, definitely.
A lot of
Billy's
anime,
closet.
a lot of anime and shoes in Billy's closet. That's what I imagine.
That's
Yeah,
Billy's life,
maybe a
man.
couple Razer keyboards or something in there too. That were
True,
just
though.
like little trophies.
Don't have any of that shit anymore.
It's like anime shoes and then New Japan wrestling. And that.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, yeah.
True.
Wrestling lives it's through my blood right now, man.
Billy we're recording 2 shows, and Billy can only watch do one of us.
Yeah.
One of us.
Yeah.
What he can only do?
Billy can only do one of us
Damn.
at a time.
He'll do you, Retel. That's who he's gonna do.
Billy can only do one of us. He can only do one of the shows because he's got to go watch fucking wrestling.
Yeah, man, good on him.
Well-
That's awesome. I know New Japan Wrestling is that's what
I
it's
know
called, right?
Wrestle Kingdom 12 just was.
Is that what you're watching?
Yeah, it was.
Okay, so tell us because I know Japan wrestling's a thing because of you, but what's this like?
It's the WrestleMania of
Okay.
Japan, so it's like all the big names.
So it's
like,
a big deal.
Yeah, it's like after this, the year resets pretty much for them, and then they have to come with new storylines. Like it's a slow build to get to this point as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I haven't been following as much as I would like to because I've been so busy. But I just follow the storylines and everything. And yeah, Chris Jericho's wrestling in this one, and
Oh,
kind
I
of
love
insane.
Chris
Yeah,
Jericho. He's
yeah.
gonna come out with the same intro, dog.
yeah, of
Is he-
course, yeah.
Oh my
So
God.
has
What
he-
am I saying,
let me-
dude?
just to
So it's a
clarify.
cross promotion.
Not really, not necessarily.
Oh.
Because
what's
is
the-
he even with WWE anymore?
He is and he's not. Surprisingly, Vince McMahon actually gave him the go ahead to actually do this. He told him way ahead of time, like, "Hey, I'm going to do this right after my contract ends."
Yo, that's good, man. Let Chris Jericho shine, man. This
He's
man is
48, man.
he's a Canadian
fucking
wrestler.
48.
He's godlike, man.
He is
one of my favorite wrestlers.
He's
Chris
in my
Jericho.
top 5 for sure.
Yes, for sure, absolutely.
There's always like the Stone Cold.
It's
Yeah,
insane.
Rock.
I made a Retel show earlier last year about because we watched WrestleMania at Billy's place.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you were there,
Yeah.
but and one thing that kind of blew me away, I was like, dude, the same people I watched as a kid are still fucking wrestling.
Insane.
It's
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah, insane.
And
It's
they're
also-
still the biggest names on the card are all these old wrestlers.
The booking for WWE is a little suspect. Don't get me wrong. That's why it's all the nostalgia factor to bring the old fans back. Like honestly,
Yeah.
I think they should give the young guys a push and not cram shit down your throat.
It is,
That's
yeah.
why
It has to be in moderation, right?
Yeah.
Like me and my brother were talking about the whole Dave Bautista era and everything like that. And
Joe
I love
Bautista.
Bautista, man. I love that. I love him so much right now because
Yeah.
of the movies. But they were cramming a lot of people in your face at a time, and I love Dave, especially now as an actor.
Yeah.
I love him more on the big screen actually. But yeah, with moderation, I think you're absolutely right.
That's exactly what happened. I think 3 years ago when he came back for a quick comeback. he was pushed to the moon, and everyone knew it was not genuine. It was not like organic.
Yeah.
And then everyone just booed him. I'm like, man,
Well, isn't that kind of like what happened when they try to shove some wrestler down your throat? Like Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
Is like the perfect example. I don't watch wrestling. I know everyone hates Roman Reigns.
It's like, okay, the thing is, Roman Reigns is like, I like him. Like, he is a good performer. He is a really good worker, like in the ring, but he's being jammed down your throat. Like, when Batista won the Royal Rumble that year, it was supposed to be Roman Reigns. Like, everyone was just cheering Roman Reigns to win. Obviously, he got buried because it's like he wasn't a bigger name yet. And then next year, everyone knew he's like the number one guy. And then he just got pushed to the moon like Batista, and everyone started booing him because he got everything handed to him. But so it's
Gotta be organic, man.
Is Roman Reigns a good guy or a bad dude?
He is
he a heel?
he's technically a face, but like people are booing him like a heel. So then,
Okay.
Yeah. But then there's that line, the fine line in wrestling where the anti-hero is the one that gets cheered the most.
Yeah,
Like The Rock, right? He was kind of
Rock
he
was
went
not
through
a
a
good
dick.
dude.
Yeah, he went through a dick
He went
phase.
through the
Right?
dick phase, and then he was a complete heel though. Like before that, so there's a fine line between fuck the authority and like, I'm the fucking best. Like Stone Cold, he was a lone wolf pretty much at that point, and then everyone's like, and then he went through these weird swings because Vince McMahon is a genius.
Yeah.
He is. He actually is. But then he should retire soon. But if it's not proper, if it's not organic, you're not going to get the right crowd response. But maybe right now that's what they want. They want Roman Reigns to be fucking booed because they're not doing anything different with him.
Yeah.
Like at this point, he's technically a heel because everyone hates him. But he's
yeah.
not a true heel because he's too heroic if you think about it. That's why he's a face. It gets all crazy and shit.
Yeah.
So
It's gotta be organic. There's only so many Dwayne the Rock Johnsons out there, though, man.
Exactly,
The reason why The Rock was so good is because he was better on the mic than anybody else.
He was the
best.
If you actually watched him wrestle, he was good. Don't get me wrong, he was good, but he only had a few moves.
Yeah. He was just so ridiculous and crazy. Like the people's elbow was the most ridiculous
so dumb,
move.
dude.
And I think like there was a video where they mentioned how that got started. I think The Rock was just literally joking around in the training room before a show, and then everyone was laughing, and they turned it into a real thing. But it's just so out there. It's so goofy.
Yeah.
But I know New Japan Wrestling is like, what I hear a lot of the people I talk to, like I have a few friends who are really into it, including you. And the moment that I realized it was big was ever since Kenny Omega went to CEO, which was this, it's
Fighting game tournament in
Orlando.
Orlando.
Exactly. It's a very popular fighting game tournament in Orlando. And he went, and what I heard was that there were many people who flew from Japan just to see Kenny Omega in this tournament. It's like, that's insane. That's so crazy to me.
Game tournament?
Yeah.
A fighting game
game
tournament because
tournament.
he's really into fighting games. Like,
He's
he
actually
loves-
not bad, is he?
Same with
It's not
like
bad.
Xavier
No, he's
Woods,
very
and
good.
they did like this big showdown.
Yeah.
I think it was at CEO or one of the other tournaments.
Yeah,
you know-
Xavier Woods plays like Birdie, I thought. I
He's-
think at the
he's-
time. Yeah.
And then
Xavier is not that
Kenny
good.
Omega played
Kenny
Alex.
Omega just fucking wiped the floor. He's just like playing with him. You can watch the movement. It's like, watch the tape. Like Kenny Omega, like he was just chilling, like mostly playing footsies with him the whole time. Where Xavier Woods, PhD, he's a doctor. He's a doctorate.
It's kind of insane.
Yeah, no, to be honest,
Thinking
if
about-
anyone can even play fighting games fairly competently,
Yeah.
and they are working full time and doing what he's doing, he's probably working out every morning,
Yeah.
doing his rehearsal shows, and just actually doing his main shows. Like, it's so difficult.
Yeah,
Fighting
Japan-
games,
yeah.
the biggest weakness is you have to just put so much time into
Exactly.
them
So he's,
before they're really fun.
He's a fantastic worker. I think he's like one of the best wrestlers in the.
Didn't they just
right
rate
now.
Kenny Omega #1, like best wrestler? Like for some magazine or website or
Yeah,
some shit.
I think it's
That's so
PWI probably Pro Wrestling.
What do you think his WWE offer was, man? I'm sure he was offered like a shit ton of
He
money
did,
back
but he
then.
said no
Yeah, of course.
I respect
of course.
it.
because he's like the thing with WWE. If you actually look at the wrestlers that they signed from New Japan, they're not getting the free reign that they get in Japan. That's
Kenny
why-
Omega couldn't be Kenny Omega, right?
No, there's no way he can do Women's Angel.
Exactly.
There's no way he can do like all those like knees to the head.
'Cause they're just like New Japan wrestling is just way more dangerous
Yeah.
than WWE is.
But that's why it's like, man, like it's a niche. It's a niche, show.
It's a niche that's growing, though. I'll tell
I
you that
know,
much.
it's like-
I've seen it grow in the last 2-3 years like crazy.
It's like you say it's niche, but then it's like I see maybe it's just the circles I run in. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's just I see New Japan shit everywhere, all over my Facebook. Tons of people were watching it.
Yeah.
Like they show up in fucking Tekken 7. I'm just
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
what is going on?
Yeah, dude. I was so happy that they did that because, you know, they are so good. They put on like the best wrestling. Not like it's entertainment, obviously, but it's best professional wrestling out there right now. The product is spectacular. Like if you watch it, you're like, holy shit, this is fucking wrestling. Like even Lou's like, you know, WrestleMania, he just watches it because, you know, it's like, fuck it. It's WrestleMania. It's once a year. You probably will watch it too.
Yeah.
Because I will not be here this time. I'm actually
You're going to WrestleMania.
Yeah, I'm going for
Philly?
Derek's bachelor party. So one of my
Damn.
buddies is bachelor party. So we're going
When is
to
WrestleMania happening? I'm
April
sorry.
9th.
April 9th.
So I'm going there. So if you guys are in New Orleans, you know, hit me up.
Yeah.
I'll be there for like a couple days, 4 days. But
You
yeah,
can have your belt with you.
no.
He'll buy a new one there.
But yeah, when I showed Lou like all the clips and all the, you know, just the wrestling like of Wrestle Kingdom 11 last year, he's like, why haven't we been watching this earlier?
Yeah.
Because it's so much more hard hitting. The show, like the moves are borderline illegal. There's some stuff I'm like, man, that's not gonna fly. It's not for children. There's profanities thrown everywhere.
Well, it's kind of like I feel like New Japan almost picked up where like Attitude Era left
It's
off.
pretty
You know
much,
what I
yeah.
mean? Like if you watch WWF back in the day in the Attitude Era,
It's the
like,
best.
It was so good,
Yeah,
man.
That's what I grew up watching.
But you
And-
can't do that anymore on TV.
Suck it,
Yeah.
and just like you know, Stone Cold comes up like
Did X
drinking all
Pac
the
was
beer
like a
and shit.
filthy motherfucker, man.
Xbox was fucking ridiculous, man. Back in the day.
Poontang Pie, like all this stupid garbage.
Yeah.
I don't know, and
Yeah.
like and the wrestling itself was way more like intense back then. I feel
Yeah.
like now it's so much more
There's
safe.
no shots to the head and everything.
No.
Obviously, there's still some like safety precautions with New Japan, but they push it to the limit some days, man.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's like back in the day when like WWF like the Hardys and like Shane McMahon, like they were insane, dude.
yeah, one of my favorite matches of this year went to Shibata versus Okada in Sakura Genesis. I believe it's like April or something, April of last year, 2017. Man, like. At first I'm like, oh, Shibata, like he was pretty good. Like I enjoyed him. Like I knew he was a very stiff worker, but I never actually really liked that style of wrestling. But man, he put on a fucking show. Like he went hard against Okada's the New Japan Pro Wrestling like heavyweight champion right now, and he was going for the belt. And I'm like, you know what? After that match, it made me like love like Shibata like 10 times more. And he turned into one of my favorite wrestlers. Too bad he had to retire after that
Damn,
because
because it was just like he put his body through too much.
he
or
put
like-
his head through too much.
Damn.
He headbutted Okada.
See, that's the issue. That's what I was about to say. Was that
There's a line. There's a line that
There's
you
a
go,
line,
you
exactly.
pushed it too much,
and
you
that's
passed
why
that line.
maybe WWE is a little, I guess, better for the athletes.
It's true.
Yeah.
In that sense, because that's why you can get them to keep wrestling. It's like, I mean, Ric Flair, how old was he before he like fully just stopped?
He stopped
wrestling?
from WWE because he's like, okay, you're done,
Yeah.
man. There's no more.
Yeah,
Medically,
he's
you're not
so-
cleared.
yeah.
He went to freaking TNA wrestling and then fucked everything up in his legacy and shit.
that's right. But they were really, because that's the reason why fighters, people say like up to age 40 is when people really start. Because Cormier right now is like 38. Daniel Cormier, the
yeah,
lightweight
UFC.
champion, light heavyweight champion.
That's when they slowly go.
They start,
decline.
yeah. That's they're nearing their end, and that's because it's like fighting's over. You're getting hit in the head a lot more. You're getting, concussions, getting knocked out, and
the bumps that they take, it's actually pretty tough. It's
It is.
For sure,
It's just
man.
like what.
Oh, I know. I don't get me wrong. Yeah, I don't want to discredit wrestlers
Yeah.
at all. They put in so much work. They're true athletes. But the thing is with WWE, I think they do try and minimize the head hitting just a little bit more
there's no
than
more.
probably than more than New Japan, right?
Yeah, from what I remember.
Yeah.
But the thing is, with New Japan, there's no gimmick matches. Though.
Okay.
It's just one-on-one. You know how there's a disqualification. Oh, this person retains the belt. No, the ref can be like, keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's
I mean,
like,
it's like
still.
it's part of the appeal to wrestling, though. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
the violent aspect of it. It's fucking wrestling.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? My favorite wrestler of all time is Mick Foley,
Yeah.
and that guy put his body
Yeah.
through
He
hell,
did. He
Yeah.
did.
through hell, but he's got like one of the best legacies in all all
course.
wrestling.
Of course.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Anyways, I don't want to go on for too much.
Yeah.
I can go on forever
Yeah,
with
right.
wrestling.
That's good. It's a good
Shoot me an
conversation.
email. Shoot me on 5 minutes
Send it.
Instagram.
Top tier podcast. This is our first podcast of 2018.
Oh, actually, yeah.
It is. How was you guys' New Year's, man?
We slept.
You slept through it?
Yeah.
Oh.
So I was down in Utah for a week with Damien, and then the 31st we came back in, and then I just hung out at home, but then we jumped in bed at 11 to just kind of chill, and then we like just fell asleep, like knocked
Just
out, and then
missed the countdown,
like 12. I woke up
whatever.
at 12:30. I was like, and Damien's sleeping. I'm just like, okay, go
Happy
brush
New
my
Year.
teeth, jump on my PJs. But like, I mean, it's awesome to celebrate and whatnot. But like, I'm kind of at that age now where it's like I'm.
I've been through many New Years.
Yeah, I've done enough New Year's. I've done a bit of it all, so it's kind of nice to just like unwind and and it's a little different. I mean, I'm not saying once you get married, like things slow down, but like definitely that point where like, I've settled, it's all chill, and so like just kicking
like
at home is actually sweet.
Sounds like an 8 out of 10 experience. Man.
It's like an 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
So, because so for New Year's this year, like one of our friends, she had like a table booked in this like lounge like club, right? And it was basically like a nightclub in downtown, and everything. We had to pay for the table, and they only had bottle service, so you had to buy everything by the bottle, and it was really expensive. And I'm just like, I was like, all right, whatever. New Year's once a year, I'll fucking do it. My girlfriend really wanted to go, but I ended up getting super sick.
He sounded like a normal person.
Billy always makes fun of me because every time I get sick, like my voice gets kind of like lower, I guess.
Or lower.
Not lower.
Higher.
A little higher.
I think higher would be
higher,
the,
but then
'cause
it
you're-
sounds like not like nasally.
What?
As nasally.
Well, it
Because
sounds
for you, yeah,
different.
it'd be different if it was like higher. I think because being lower, you'd just be much more. I don't know. Retel would get more. What isn't it the truth? Yeah, Retel's got a low voice. Like
Yeah,
What?
yeah,
It goes higher, but then
yeah.
I don't know. It sounds normal to me. Man.
Low in a good way.
Well,
Yeah.
anyways,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Billy always makes fun of it. He says I sound more normal when I'm sick than when I actually have a normal fucking voice. But anyways, yeah, I was like super sick, so I'm just like, I couldn't I was super sick. New Year's came around. I'm just like, being out at a fucking nightclub and drinking and dancing, this is not what I want to be doing. I am not up to it.
Yeah.
And so like, I felt really bad. My girlfriend stayed behind just for me. Like, I was ready to tough it out, but then she kind of talked me out of it. So I'm just like, no. She's like, you should stay home.
Man, lucky.
And our friend, she booked all this thing, and Billy went. Billy, how was your New Year's,
I'm
dog?
gonna tell you this right now. I despise clubs. I don't like loud places. with
Clubs
people
are overrated.
grimy.
Was this a loud place? Oh
Pretty
shit!
loud. It's loud.
Yeah, I'm not a huge.
It's a club.
Oh, it was
It's a
straight
club.
up a club.
It's a
Oh, I
strip
didn't know.
club.
I thought it was more of like.
It was in a hotel, but like they had it was like a ballroom in a hotel, right? Something like that. So, but
because I've been in those
they had
hotel
a
lounges
bar,
before. They're really nice. You guys
It
have
is really nice.
conversations,
but it
yeah.
was a New Year's event,
was a
so
New
it
Year's
was
event,
basically
yeah.
a club.
They ran out of Ciroc. I didn't drink though.
Ciroc.
Yeah, it was a Ciroc.
P Diddy making that money.
I know.
Damn.
I was like,
Oh,
are you fucking kidding me? How can you run out of regular Ciroc in a Ciroc like fucking party? I didn't drink, like I said. I didn't drink.
it was a
outside.
Ciroc party.
Yeah.
Damn.
What the fuck did you guys go to, man?
I don't know. Roman was there.
I didn't
Oh,
go.
I know.
I
And then
missed
like, I don't know. It was just so.
Because I don't like it's so funny because I saw pictures, and every picture you'll see like all the girls are like, cheers, and then you'll see Billy in the background.
Yo, we need a picture of this with everyone else's face blurred. You need to edit this shit.
Just cut me out.
Okay.
Let me just get everyone else. Leave me.
Oh, okay.
Dude, I never like clubs. I give it a 4 out of 10. People are like, oh, but they're having fun. I'm like, I'm alright. It's like, oh, how do you feel?
God.
I'm like, 4 out of 10. Because I'm fucking honest. I do not mince my words up or like, sugarcoat anything. I'm like, 4 out of 10.
And it's great because the person who dislikes the club the most or that kind of setting went to the party.
It's true. It's
He's the
true.
only one. I didn't go.
I mean, you're tempted to because your friends are going. Like
Yeah.
Rachel's girlfriend was really kind. She invited me, but I was just kind of like, no, I don't know. This just doesn't seem like my kind of
Dodge your bullet there,
vibe.
man.
Too.
And like I just
And-
feel like, man, I'm 28. Like clubs. Like I wasn't even big into clubs in my early 20s, man.
Yeah, me neither, man.
And like it's just not my scene. Everything is expensive. First of all, everything in the club is sticky. The girls, everything is superficial about it. The entire experience is superficial.
Yeah.
And
It's true. All
it's-
those. Although, I'm happy that my friends, our friends that went,
Sure.
had a great time. Like,
Yeah.
I don't honestly.
like fun can be had.
certain times I'm like, oh, man, I'm having a good time talking to these guys, chilling at our table and dancing around their table and stuff. It's like it's cool,
Of course.
but
yeah.
like at a certain point in time, I'm like, oh man, how are we gonna stay? How long are we staying?
How long
Like,
did you stay for?
we stayed until like 1:30, 1:50.
Oh,
It's not that bad.
That's not
Because
bad,
usually when we
yeah.
go to like Boris's parties or whatever, we're there until like 2 in the morning.
Oh, at least
2 something
yeah.
in the morning.
Sometimes
Yeah, but
They
they
three.
shut the place down.
I
Yeah.
had to drive everyone fucking home. That's the thing. Like,
Oh,
I
shit.
drove down there
Damn.
because I'm like, I'm not gonna
Designated driver.
So you have to go
Mr.
back and
Responsible?
forth, or did
No,
you
it was
have?
once. I had my mom's
Oh
car.
yeah, okay.
Yeah, I took my mom's car instead of my little FRS, right?
Yeah.
So my mom's like, yeah, just make sure no one throws up in it.
Because what's the sound
And
like, man?
Did that happen, Billy?
Well, yes and no. Someone
Oh.
threw up on someone else
In the car.
in the car, but not on the car. So I was very impressed. Very impressed. Also, my buddy Nick Kobe'd the bag when I was driving. Oh no, no!
Like out the window?
Yes, he Kobe'd the bag when I was driving out the window.
Oh no, that's rude.
Some
That's not cool.
That's some raccoon food right
Yo,
there.
someone was probably driving behind you.
No, no,
Ah!
you know, it was dead at night. It was like 2:30 because it took them a while because we had to stop at McDonald's for a while because they were just like, and I was just hungry at that point.
They needed
I
something to
heard
soak in all
I
that.
heard many horror stories from this night, man. And,
Yeah.
like I'm sad that I missed it, but I think I kind of dodged
You
a bullet
dodged
at the same
bullet,
time.
man. You know what? It was. Don't get me wrong. I did enjoy the company of others.
Sure. Like I'm Billy. I'm sorry. Most sorry that I wasn't there to hang out with you.
That's true.
Because
Actually.
I think out of every like we would have
We would've made-
I would have been your saving grace.
yeah, it was true actually. Roman was there.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. Roman was like, if you were there, it would have been way better as well.
But Roman likes to break it down though. Man.
Oh, Roman
Yeah.
was like, getting up on those chicks, man. I was like,
Ooh,
woo,
damn.
That's my boy. That's my
Roman.
boy, man.
Roman,
Roman sleeps at her place every night almost.
She slept at my place. I had to take care of him, man. Like, I had to care. Like he was like, it was it was all right. Like
yeah.
4, maybe 5 sometimes, 6 at one point, 7 when I was driving home.
This is
because-
out of 10.
yeah.
The experience out of 10, right?
It got better near the end of the night when he was leaving.
When I was-
It was a 10 by the
It's a
time I
10
was
when you-
home.
Yeah, exactly. When you're in
Man,
bed.
when I was driving Roman and the other guys home, it was a 7 because I love people's pain, man.
Because Billy just loves people
He
acting a
just-
fool.
Yeah. I'm like, man, this guy's just exactly acting a fool right now.
That's crazy.
He's-
Yeah.
Billy's a dementor is what he is. He just like feeds off other people's
Negative
pain.
energy.
Yeah.
See the
I
world
said
burn.
something.
No, not that bad, but no, it was just funny because I'm like, man, why do you guys drink so much? Why do you gotta do that,
New
man?
Year's.
It's still not enough time to act a fool, you know.
I mean, I get it, but I don't as well.
Yeah.
Like you want a reason to party, sure, but dang, like, I mean, I think your birthday, like, okay, your birthday, get messed up, get
Yeah.
wasted, but New Year's, like, yo, you want to start afresh, dude.
I
I
Start
went
the New Year off strong.
man, I went to sleep early.
Yeah, that's good, man. Because the next day I had to help Dad I'm like move, right?
Oh, what? You have to move on
Oh.
New Year's Day?
Yeah.
Help someone move?
Yeah, 9 a.m.
Ooh,
The
ooh.
in-laws, man, the
Ooh.
in-laws, you gotta.
Yeah, man.
That's
why-
rough. Dude.
And I moved the
That's a
whole
lot
day.
to ask of a person.
Yeah, whole day to like 3:30 p.m. I was about to drive home. I was driving home and returned the car, and I got back at like 4:30. I'm just missing Roman. He just woke up.
Shit.
Damn, dude.
Yeah, it was
Because
alright.
poor Roman, because he ended up crashing at your place, which is right next door to where I live. And so Billy had to go, I guess, help move. So he left Roman the key. He's like, and so Billy knocks on my door. He's like, Roman's gonna drop off the key. He crashed in my house before he leaves. So I was like, all right, no problem. And like 6 hours later, Roman drops the key off at 4:30. I was like, dude, you've been passed out and hung over this whole time. That sucks.
Yeah.
He must have been feeling rough.
Yeah.
been rough.
So I wish last year I had a great time for our New Year's, like because we had board games and we just had drinks
Yeah,
and
last
stuff.
year we kept it low key. We just,
Dude, I had so much fun
drinks
last year.
and board games.
We left way later.
Billy's ideal night,
That was
guys.
Billy's
Some
ideal.
board. That's just good.
I won't lie. To
Oh,
me,
yeah.
that's like a great way of bringing the New Year.
10 out of 10.
Just with the
10 out of 10
homies.
at home.
Because
Yeah.
the biggest thing about the whole nightclub thing is that I want to spend my time with like my friends, and it's
Yeah.
really hard to do that at a
Yeah,
club.
exactly.
You can't have a conversation with anyone.
Oh, hell no,
At a
man.
nightclub, it's impossible. So even like a bar or like even just chilling at someone's house, that's
10 out of 10.
Yeah.
much better.
Last year, 10 out of 10. It was really fun. And also
much
because
more my scene.
always my parents have like this huge like New Year's Eve party. So I always bum off their food as well.
Even
Yeah.
dude upstairs, like
Yeah.
our landlord's like on New Year's Eve, like I heard them literally cleaning and moving furniture all day. I'm just like, oh, they're going hard tonight.
like what 3 or something? 3 or 4?
They were karaoke and partying and drinking all night.
Any Asian man. We used to have Asian, not Asian. It it is Asian, but Filipino tenants.
Yeah, it's Asian.
And dude, they are crazy with their karaoke, man.
Yeah.
It was back when I used to live at my old place,
Yeah.
but they used to go off in any sort of party. And I was like,
Karaoke,
you know,
man.
I respect this, man. Have fun.
Yeah, dude.
You know,
for sure.
sing some.
Fair,
some
man.
tunes.
How was your New Year's?
Yeah, how was your New Year's?
You know, this is the first New Year's in like a decade almost that I spent it with my parents.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
So yeah, we got to go to we all went to my parents' place and they loved it. They were so happy and they cooked up a storm. and
Nice.
Damn,
It was
I should've
awesome.
went
It was
there.
really. Yeah, you guys were more than welcome to.
I know.
Like Roman all the time, every Sunday when we go see our parents.
there.
He comes, man. He comes almost every other time for
Damn
sure, just to eat up the food. But that was really nice. I really enjoyed it. It was kind of really nice. You know, my dad's been really funny ever since I've gotten older. He's always like, "Drink with me,
Dude, it's
have some
it's so
whiskey,
funny.
have some shots," and I'm
As
always
soon
like,
as
"No,
you get-
Dad, I'm like, you know, when I was younger, I'd be like, hell yeah, you gonna give me some liquor? I want to try." But now I'm at an age where I'm like, no, I'm gonna have some wine and that's it.
I'm
But-
telling you, dude. That's what happens as soon as you move. You're old, and you're like old enough, and you
Yeah.
move out of your house. That's the key.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then your parents, they just want nothing more than
know.
to hang out with you and drink with
I
you.
know. And I love it. I'd love it. You know,
Yeah.
Boris, thankfully, he takes that role with my dad, so he's always drinking and matching some
Yo,
shots
next time
with him.
invite me. I
once in a
want to
while.
drink with Reza, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
me too,
Yeah,
man.
oh, yeah.
I want to drink with Reza.
Drink
Yeah,
with
man.
Papa Reza, man. That's an experience to be had for sure. That's a bucket list right there.
Drinking a Reza.
Funniest thing was, you know, like a few years ago, like 3 or 4, we went on a family trip to California, road trip. It was
Oh,
awesome.
That's right. That's right.
And it was so funny because my oldest brother was he was the driver the whole time, and you know, thankfully he was. So my dad got to relax and everything. And
Idris is a good driver, man.
yeah, he's a really good driver. Exactly. Like I don't know. Like I wouldn't want any other one of us to drive in the streets of
The streets of LA.
the LA highway too, man. It was pretty intense. Like people are
Yeah.
pretty good. Like all you guys who live in LA, props to you guys because you got to be really,
for sure.
you got to be a pretty solid driver. You know.
10 out of 10.
Yeah, because everyone's just very aggressive. You know, everyone in Vancouver here is just so laid back and so like I don't know, it's good.
Yeah. Okay.
But that being said, I just remember my dad just you know, like we would drink like in the hotel a little bit. My dad, which isn't even allowed, was like drinking in our little van a little bit. Here and there. I was like, oh man, that's so awesome. I'm so happy to see him like wind down and have fun. So
It's awesome.
yeah,
Wind down.
really cool. Yeah, wind down for sure.
Wind down, drinking in the cup.
Dude,
Just
a
chill.
man who was born in Afghanistan has seen some shit, guys.
I can imagine. Dude. I can imagine.
Anything-
And Russia.
And Russia, yeah. You know, he was born in the war zone, man.
So it's New Year's
Yep.
resolutions.
Oh, resolutions, man. Shit.
I mean, I don't really believe too much in resolutions, but with that said, I'm watching what I eat now. I think I've gained weight since being on film. I've been
yeah. They
again.
feed you good on
they
film.
feed me way too good, man. When you got pork and lamb and steak and
Burgers.
you know
All these meats.
desserts, like yeah, it's just like you have just a buffet of food. So yeah, so I'm watching myself, watching my weight.
It's hard, man. We're in our late 20s now, Ben.
Yeah.
Everything just goes. Our metabolism's gone.
I'm still blessed. I'm still like I still eat a lot,
Yeah.
but like
You're
I'm
a
definitely,
skinny dude.
but I'm still like I'm toning it down because I'm seeing it, man. Like I have a gut now, and it's gross. Like if you ever find me at the bottom of like floating face down under a bridge, it's because I just couldn't take it anymore, man. It's just like nah, it's not worth it anymore.
Holy shit.
Too dark, man.
But
Too dark.
yeah, so there's that. So just trying to be more conscious of my body. I'm also wanna join the union. So I'm pretty much there. Like I'm hoping by the end of the month.
for your work, right?
Yeah, for work.
Oh,
So
nice,
to be
nice.
part of the union and and hop onto another show. Those are like my big goals right now. Is I hope to go back into DC when season 4 starts. And hop onto another show. Hopefully, Dirk Gently season 3. I want to hop
Oh,
onto
sick.
that.
Oh,
But-
nice.
I hear that show's really good.
You're a big fan of
Oh,
that show,
I
too.
love
Yeah.
you like legit. It's like I know people know Dirk Gently, but I don't think enough people have seen it because like it's not for everyone. But like if you like sci-fi, how could it not be? Like is my question. How could it not be? Yeah, watch it, Dirk Gently.
Okay.
I think for me, actually, I mentioned it in a video I posted just a few days ago. It's like I just don't want to be lazy. Just don't be
Right.
lazy.
Right.
And that's like always be either working towards something or just don't be a lazy sack of shit. Even when it comes to like even little things like YouTube or like eating better or exercising. Just don't be a lazy piece of shit.
Right.
And that's kind of like
It's
an
crazy how much
overarching thing.
better you feel when you have something to do. Like, you know, as soon as my work ended and I was on Christmas break,
Yeah.
there's literally like 2 or 3 days in a row where I was like, this is my time to game, because I don't play I don't play as many games as I obviously was before, but I was like, fuck, I'm gonna play like a bunch of my library. I'm gonna play some Mario, I'm gonna play some Zelda, Lawbreakers. I was just literally all day was just jumping between
Who
games.
are you
and
playing
having-
with Lawbreakers? Dude, there's no one on that
Yeah,
game.
what are you talking about, man? I'm with the 6 other people playing that game every night. All right, I know the whole community.
But no, I love those kinds of days that you're describing though. It's like it's one of those days where it's like it's like 11 p.m. You're still wearing the same thing you put on when you woke up in the morning.
Yeah,
Dude,
Exactly.
I don't think I. Yeah, like during the winter hiatus. Word, man. Like those first Monday through Wednesday, I was in my PJs for the whole day. I didn't go like day one. I was still recovering from my sickness, so I'm just like, yeah, I'm just gonna play Horizon.
Yeah.
Day 2, it snowed, so I'm like, nah, screw it. I'm not going outside.
Yeah.
Or Wednesday, I was like, you know what? I probably should have gone out on Monday, you know, because there was no snow. But I'm like, whatever. So I'm just like,
Damn.
legit, man. Like I think I pumped like 30
50
hours,
hours, yeah.
like those 3
Dude.
days, just playing Horizon to a point. Like Thursday. Like after 8 hours, I'm just like, yeah, you know, I think I overdid it with this game.
Yeah,
So
no,
I
exactly.
Put down the controller, started playing something
No.
else because I'm just like, oh man, I did.
That's kind of the point I wanted to get to. Is like when you're on your like end of your second day, or like even on your third day, you're kind of like, what the fuck am I doing? And then I went back to editing some projects that I'm working on, a super secret project at the Top Tier podcast, and like even like 2 or 3 hours into it, you're like, oh man, you feel so good because you're working towards something and you're seeing a product that you're making, and even though not maybe a lot of people are going to see this project and it's going to be small, and
It's gonna be huge, Bear.
we don't have the
Don't
audience.
fuck around.
Yeah, we don't have the audience that like some of these other huge YouTubers have, but it's still, you feel so good about making a product, and it's cool to see that that just shows you how good it feels to be motivated and get stuff done, and it's just life really is all about balance. It
true.
really is 100% about balance, and to just to enjoy games and love them, but don't overdo it. Really cherish it. I always use the word digestion process. I feel like right now with video games, we play through these open world games like 2 days and finish them. We don't really get the time to digest them and enjoy them and to really think about them. Like to stop playing them and maybe just lay down and just think about them. Whether you're driving or you're doing something else.
It's crazy too, because like you'll like just like in Uncharted 4, for instance, you'll just barrel through a room and not even think 2 seconds about it, right?
Exactly.
But someone probably spent like a week modeling and
course.
detailing, and like probably way more than
course.
that, every little detail of that room. You know what I mean?
Just run
That's
through
like
it.
video editing.
just run through it. Fuck it.
And I never considered that. Like in film, I try and like consider everything, look at everything. But like something like a video game where it's just so huge, like that sucks, because there's like some things that you won't look at, and then people bust their butts working on. Like,
Of course, yeah.
dang.
Every little
Yeah.
detail in every game, especially now where we're living in a world where just we have like 200 people teams working
Yeah.
on games,
Someone will
which
just
is
work
absolutely absurd.
Monday
if you
to
go
Friday,
back.
just doing textures for rocks. dude.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
it's just like, fuck.
But it's important, man. It's very important. It's like all that kind of comes in together. I've always said that even like the UI for a game, the main menu for a game,
Yeah.
You don't even think
adds
about
to
it.
so much of like the feeling of the game. Like that's even for talking about Street Fighter V. I'm kind of excited to see Arcade Edition, because what I've seen from the menus of Arcade Edition looks so much better
Way better,
already,
right?
and the character select screen and the versus logos, and I'm like, finally they're putting some like kind of charm to this
Yeah.
game, and it looks way better instead of being so kind of robotic and
For sure.
So
Um,
how much is the new menu gonna cost you?
it's free. Everything's free.
Oh,
Everything's
it's
free.
free.
They're doing the right
Capcom.
thing. I know,
No.
dude. Trust
What?
me. That's what I was thinking. I was
What?
like, is this the same Capcom?
It's all in gold too,
No.
man. Your
I was-
color,
I
dog.
was about to pull out my credit card and there you go, Capcom. I'm used to this. Nickel and dime me, but no, it's
free.
Everything's free, and all
It's
the
gonna be
characters
insane,
from Season 1 and 2 they're gonna be absolutely free.
For everyone
so
who owns
for
the game.
everyone who owns
Yeah.
the game, so it's like they understood, they fucked up.
Yeah.
I'm still pissed off at them because I feel like they fucked up so hard on the opportunity of Marvel.
Because didn't you hear that the DLC for Street Fighter V was double the budget for all of Marvel Infinite?
That's crazy.
Isn't that
That is
kind of-
insane,
That's
man.
fucked.
Fucking crazy.
That's insane.
And I don't know whose fault that is. I wonder if maybe the sales pitch to Marvel had to be real cheap. and they were trying to keep it real cheap. But it's like, you do not fuck around
Such a big-
with Marvel, the Marvel IP. You have all these amazing characters. Don't get me wrong, Capcom as a brand is amazing too. Like, you got Okami,
Oh, man.
Phoenix Wright. You got all these.
I get more hype
crazy-
for the Capcom characters.
Yeah, well,
personally.
I'm a little bit more for Marvel, even though I maybe if you asked me 10 years ago, I was a bit more for Capcom, but I feel like Marvel, there's just so much
They
cool
got some great
shit.
characters, dude. for
Yeah,
sure.
so many cool characters you can add, man, and especially like to give characters to shine who aren't in maybe the movie universe.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you can add so many characters, you know. Hell, that's how I became a fan of Nova, right? I started
Right.
reading the comics and
From
went
Marvel
back
3,
to
right?
yeah, and I was like, holy shit, this character, like, he still looks like an absolute retard, but he's one of the coolest and most lovable characters, you know, like, yeah, I can go about the comics, you know, anyway. It makes everything that happens on Earth in Civil War seem so small and so insignificant when you really read about Cosmic Marvel. But anyways,
Anyways, what were we talking about? Going through games too fast? Like
Yeah.
Chriselle, man, she's been playing Breath of the Wild.
yeah, you got her a Switch, that's
Dude,
right.
she has been playing this game all day,
Yeah.
every day. It's insane. It's insane. She's absolutely addicted to it, which is great.
Yeah.
And she's really, really enjoying the game.
Good on her. Good
And-
on. It's,
and,
it's
dude,
one of the best games I've ever played in my life, and for a lot of people I've talked to, it is their best game ever.
For sure. I
And-
think it might be the best Zelda game. Like, honestly,
Oh, it's-
dude. It's like,
I would argue it is the best Zelda game.
Yeah,
I think
like-
it's better than Ocarina.
I think so too.
Yeah,
And
it's
like,
fucking
But it's
great.
insane. But that's an insane thought to me.
Yeah.
If you were to tell me that like a year ago, I'd be like, get the fuck out of here, dude.
Yeah.
Ocarina is like one of my favorite games ever.
It's
But Breath
really
of the Wild
good.
is just something special.
Yeah.
And so, and like, she's like, dude, she's probably like 40 hours in.
Yeah.
And I looked at her map, and she's barely filled out
It's very-
anything.
I know,
Because
I know.
she's taken her time. She's like, I'm gonna find every fucking Korok.
My girlfriend too, Whitney, who's obviously is on the podcast
Yeah.
a lot, is she's probably over 80 to 100 hours into it too, and she's just enjoying it. And that game you want to take your time with,
For
just
sure.
stroll through it, have fun, explore the world. And I've always played that game, and I always think is like, how is this game so good? It's such an obscure open world game where it's
Yeah.
so empty, but at the same time you find so much, like, I don't know, like just in the small things and the small details, and it has this feel to it that I can only compare to Studio Ghibli movies.
Yeah,
where
for
it just
sure.
has this kind of this art style
Like Nino
and
Kuni?
the sound and the music. The sound of the rain alone is like the most magical thing about that game. It's just, I cannot explain that game makes me feel like a 12-year-old kid
Just
again.
The subtlety to everything, the art style and the music, and like, dude, you can
Yeah.
pause the game at any point. It's like a screenshot.
Yeah, and I
It's
know
like a wallpaper.
exactly.
Like it's that
so
freaking amazing.
I don't know how the fuck Nintendo nailed it.
It's just magic, like
Yeah.
because like for me personally, like, and I'm sure like I haven't played Breath of the Wild, but I'm sure it's superior to like Fallout 3. But Fallout 3 for me was just like I loved, like, I had to explore the whole map because it wasn't side quests or anything, but you'd enter like a random house and there would be a story to be told.
Yeah.
Like just
Yeah.
because of the way they organize the things in the room,
Oh,
maybe
yeah.
there'd be like a teddy bear and like there's like cadavers.
I think I've
Just
told
the
you
way
this
everything was
before, right? You
positioned.
know the game Snatcher, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
you
Kojima,
told
I
me.
think I told you about the-
It's been 10 or 12 years.
Yeah.
Ever since Portable Ops.
Yeah.
You told me to play.
I know. I've been on Ben's ass. Snatcher, guys, the best Sega CD game ever. All right, but it's one of my. I'm not a very big physical collector anymore. I still do collect a lot of the games I love, and all the Metal Gear games are physical.
I saw that.
But there's one game I can wish I could own in physical is Snatcher,
Why can't you?
because it's fucking $600
Damn.
US, if not more, a lot of the time.
Really?
So it's like I've just not been. I just can't justify putting that money into a fucking game, right? So it's like, but anyways, go back to Fallout, because Fallout was very magical.
But it's that. I mean, it was just a story, the narrative told, even when there wasn't one, just because
Yeah.
like it let people make a story. And so I don't know if it's like that with Breath of the Wild, but I do know just visually and just the fact that there's interaction, that the world's alive, like the way the tools you have,
They do, yeah.
like interact with everything in it. Like it's just. Like,
Yeah.
For me, it's like Breath of the Wild. Like the story was like the weakest part of the game.
Oh, it is, yeah.
100% it's the
And to
weakest
be
part of the
honest, like, I'll get shit for this, but I think like every Zelda game, I don't give a fuck about the story. Like, I really don't. It's kind of like the same old save the princess, fuck up Ganon, hey, you done, motherfucker. But it's always the gameplay and the world, the
Yeah,
atmosphere.
dude,
Like,
for Breath of the Wild, just like
Yeah.
the world and just like the physics and just like if you think will this work? And it fucking works. It's just
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you have so many tools just to play around with. The game is
Yeah.
just like one giant playground, dude.
Right.
And it's there's something amazing about
We've
it.
said it a lot of times in many episodes. 2017 was an amazing year for games, and I also don't want to discredit Horizon too, because some people, it all depends on what style you're into. A lot of people's game of the year this year is Horizon by a long shot, and I have yet to really go through it. I've seen so much gameplay of Horizon because in my household, like everyone's playing it on the 4K TV. It's just it's like a religion in my house, Horizon, and it's beautiful. It's gorgeous. It's such a great, like, Guerrilla Games. I've always known they were fucking talented, and I've supported these guys for Killzone. I've always been a big Killzone fan, and I know that's like a generic
Killzone,
FPS for a lot of people, but Guerrilla Games was always so talented, and I'm finally happy that Sony gave them that freedom to do whatever they wanted.
like, 'cause
and
their
Horizon
gameplay
is
has
like
always been-
Horizon's going to
visuals.
surpass. I guarantee you guys, Horizon's going to surpass Uncharted. I don't know about maybe Last of Us, but I think it's going to surpass Uncharted with its popularity. I think this is the next huge IP for Sony and PS4.
I'd say Uncharted is probably more popular than Last of Us.
Yeah, and more mainstream, but I think critically, and if you look at
Critically,
reviews,
for sure. Oh, critically,
like I think in terms of reviews, I mean, I guess Last of Us only had one game, but we'll see with Last of Us 2.
Yeah.
Because Uncharted really, that formula we were talking earlier, just started to get a little old.
Oh, it's
I
definitely-
really
it's
enjoyed
definitely old.
Uncharted 4, but it was just really like, you're going to have to take the series to another direction. And please, God, don't make it open world, because I'm fucking sick of open world games, because we have way too many of them. But Uncharted, I think, is perfect timing for it to kind of be put into the back burner. But I think Horizon
go
is
away for a bit.
the next big thing. If you were to,
And plus,
to
I
ask
want
me.
to see another like a new Naughty Dog new IP. Like that would be insane.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Last of Us might be their baby. We'll see.
For sure.
but-
That's where like all hands are on deck for Last of Us too.
And I think
undoubtedly, but
I think Days Gone and Spider-Man. I'm just the most.
Spider-Man,
looking
I'm so excited for that.
Spider-Man. Yeah.
Billy, man, we're supposed to be talking about New Year's resolutions.
Yeah.
We got off track.
Yeah.
Video games.
Me and Bear could talk about video games all day.
Like me in wrestling. Me personally, nothing.
Oh, okay.
Really.
Billy's perfect. He's
So-
how
so-
can you improve?
Yeah, okay.
this?
Billy, man, you've been how about
legit.
working out though, man? You've been on the gym. You've been climbing.
Yeah,
This guy
true.
comes to our house like randomly sometimes. Billy just walks in with a tank top. I'm like, damn. I think he just worked out or something because his muscles are just fucking staring at us. Everyone's like, man, why is Billy in here with his protein shake? He's just shaking it, walking into our room.
No, it's
This motherfucker, man. But that's got to be a big goal of yours
Yeah,
to
well-
keep being healthy.
Yeah, just keep.
He's got the wedding, dude.
Yeah, I was
I got
gonna
a
say,
wedding
dude,
right
that
now,
wedding. What more?
How's that resolution right
Well,
now?
New Year's resolution is to have a smooth wedding.
Yeah, pretty
Okay,
much.
but legit, I mean, you guys don't know, but a wedding, no matter how small you make it, unless you legit like think it up in the spot, like weddings have so much planning, no matter how small you make
And
it.
Billy's wedding's not going to be
And-
small. I'm going to tell you
and I
that
know,
right
you're gonna
now.
have 'em crazy. It's gonna be, if not completely traditional, it'll be somewhat traditional,
Yeah, it's-
and that's gonna be big.
It's already insane. So. Oh wow, talking about the wedding.
Yeah, I know. I was about to say
Looking
he's about to get some wedding.
We got the wife aggro
Yeah, the
already?
wife aggro
We
right
got
now,
the
man.
fiancé
Yeah, damn,
aggro,
Billy.
dude, damn.
Get him, baby.
And it begins.
She actually forgot her keys.
Oh, shit. It's okay. It's okay. You can walk out, dog. You can walk out.
No, I'm just like.
I'll cover you, dog.
Yeah. So no, yeah, like.
Toss the keys out the window. Like,
Well, yeah. The only thing that I really have to focus on is just keeping what I'm doing right now for my health.
Yeah.
Consistent. I have been keeping up with my my macros. You guys
Yeah.
know I measure my food all the time.
That's good.
I just make sure I'm hitting the gym every single day and not doing any, like. Yeah, pretty much every single day. Also, make sure I'm like consistently climbing. I spent like $800 on my membership.
Holy shit. Yeah,
So I
get
go,
your
like,
money's
2 or
worth,
3
dog.
Yeah, so I
Okay.
spend like 2 or 3 hours at the gym, like at the climbing gym that I go do like every day just to get better. And I really do enjoy the sport, so I really want to get better. And that's like my goal is just keep it consistent. Make sure I'm.
Billy was so hyped when he got a flapper on his hand, on his finger. Basically, what that means is you, like when you're climbing and you tear a piece of your finger,
I was so
and
happy.
it's all flappy and gross.
Oh.
And he's just like, oh, check this shit out.
Check it out, guys.
He was so proud.
Yeah, I mean that's Billy for you, man. That's our family right there. But yeah, so my New Year resolution.
Oh yeah, what's yours?
Fuck you, Retel. don't got one. No, I think for me, I've really thought about it. Obviously, to do a little bit more stuff with YouTube, which I'm actually very, it's kind of, I got that little bit
like
of
the
charm
meme at
and
this point,
inspiration. Yeah, for sure. And then the big one I think for me that I've really realized was recently was just to read a little bit more. To read more books, to read more comic books too, as nerdy as that sounds. I love it. It's been a really good time for me to kind of calm down, like just laying in the bed. And I showed Ben came over recently. We had literally talking about comic books and movies for like 5 hours one day.
Respect.
And we were just talking about just comics and reprints of comics and shit like that. But it's really been good for me mentally. Yeah. I've realized just to calm me down. It's a kind of a nice little quiet moment. No kind of big crazy movement and screens on and stuff. So because I video edit
in a way.
Yeah, because I work so much and I'm like staring at screens and I'm playing games a lot. So it's really nice to just kind of have something very slow and calm and preferably I would love to read a physical book all the time, but we've got I read on a Surface, a Microsoft Surface, and
it's just don't look at screens anymore.
Yeah, but but it still really calms me down because it's still so much slower and it's kind of go at your own pace sort of deal, and that's definitely been a big one for me too. And just read a few novels. I definitely want to read about 2 or 3 at least, alongside all of the comic books that I've been reading because I've been on a tear with comics. I've just been going crazy at it.
Nice.
Read like over 200 issues in the last month.
What have you been reading, dude?
I'm going past the Cosmic Marvel storyline and trying to catch up with what we have now. But I'm literally reading all of the events and all of the characters leading up to obviously Cosmic Marvel now, which is with Guardians of the Galaxy and everything. So right now I'm on a series called War of Kings that I'm catching up to, which is like after the Annihilation event and. It follows you. Just seeing the formation of the Guardians of the Galaxy was like the coolest thing ever, and just to see how much these characters have evolved and changed, and how different Groot was, and just Groot actually spoke and was like a big hierarchy in his world, and it was just really just the moment of just when Star-Lord meets these characters and how it happens, and it's kind of like the suicide mission that's put together. It was so cool. I love it. I love every bit of it.
I think the biggest thing preventing me from going down that rabbit hole is just I wouldn't know where to start, dude.
That's what. No, trust me. No, that was my biggest issue too, and I talked to Ben about this as well. There's so many fucking comics, and I think that's what
they all
stops.
Intertwine, kind of.
A lot of people who are listening to this probably it's the same thing to them. There's so much shit, and there's all these universes, and there's there's always the what if issues that Marvel and DC do. Like, what if this happened at the end? But the thing is, you just got to use these websites, and you got to just see the order.
Okay.
And,
so there are like guides.
Of course, yes.
Yeah.
So I need a guide on just.
Believe me,
Yeah,
it's
me
one
too.
of the first Google searches. When you search like a story timeline, it's kind of like you can search Annihilation, and then when you press spacebar, you'll see for one of the first searches is timeline or reading order. So you can just literally Google up reading order or timeline, and you'll usually find it.
And to be honest, I mean, I've read enough comics because when I was getting started, I was just reading. I was literally reading, just picking up random comics, like before New 52, and so eventually you start piecing things together. But I think it's just very satisfying when you don't always need a backstory. Like you can start reading Rebirth and not know anything about New 52 or anything at all, and it's fine. You're gonna enjoy the story, and I mean that's why they made Rebirth. But it's just very satisfying. At least for me, it's just I can't put a word to it. It's just satisfying when it all pieces together and you're like, oh.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because there's so much behind the scenes.
It's so important. I almost feel like to really enjoy it, that's almost a necessity for me because you have the issues of the actual war or the actual events, which is from 1 to 6 or whatever, but there's always the single kind of issue series for each character.
Right, yeah.
And then just to see it all kind of piece together and come together, to know their backstories and then to see the characters come together is irreplaceable.
But it's not always necessary is what I want to get at.
Yeah.
You don't need to know that Batman got shot with an Omega beam and actually didn't die but got sent in the past. That's all
some crazy shit there, Ben.
There's some really crazy stuff out there.
Sounds like something I would need to know.
But exactly, it sounds like something you would need to know, but you really don't. And eventually things will get answered and you'll figure it out along the way. but it is satisfying because then it just like then you kind of understand where the character's at or what's going on. And again, it sounds like you need it, but you don't. It's just satisfying.
It is satisfying.
And that's why for me, like DC movies are so hype because like I know the movies aren't connected to the comic books, but to me it's just like, oh, this is where it could go, or this is what can happen, or like, and that's why that's why I get hype.
Yeah.
Like again, just with this whole Flashpoint and just seeing like, what's his name, like Bruce Wayne's like mom and dad, like, you know, the Walking Dead characters.
Yeah.
Like I'm just like, man, if these people are gonna play like an alternate version of Bruce's parents, where his dad is Batman and his mom's a Joker, like this is gonna be insane.
That's
like
crazy
shit.
Crazy shit.
It's crazy, man.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But,
Yeah, I feel like DC plays with the universes more than Marvel does now
Yeah.
too. Like Marvel did that, and they always have the what if issues at the end of something, but
Yeah.
they kind of keep it a little bit more consistent. Where with DC, it's kind of like after a series ends, they could always kind of make it.
well, I feel
New.
not. I feel DC's way more consistent because they don't have what if stories. It's very like 1 in 100 what if stories.
They do, but I think Marvel like they're playing with the same characters because like, you know, for example, like Rebirth is a reboot.
Yeah.
You know, it's a whole new thing, and like New 52
Well, I mean,
was a reboot.
New 52 is a reboot. Rebirth is more like
Yeah.
absorbing everything. It wasn't a reboot. It's just absorbing.
Absorbing like the origin stories, but it's making it something new. You know.
Again,
Kinda.
and that's the confusing thing because like Rebirth like basically said screw everything that happened in the past.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's like don't like forget that. But with Rebirth, it's saying like no, actually, New 52 is relevant. Everything that like anything that's ever been printed is relevant.
That's cool. See, you're the DC guy. This is why I ask you.
That's why. But
Yeah.
like, but
Some
again,
may say fanboy.
yeah, I'll be the first to say. I mean, come on.
I don't blame him, man. I tell Ben how much I hate the DC movies every day, but the fact that he has faith and love into them is like I really appreciate and I respect that love.
I mean, fanboyism
because
is
he
good.
he has faith in it, and
Yeah.
he's like the
To an
people
extent.
who has, you know, is maybe the reason why, you know, we're gonna keep getting a few DC movies and why we got Wonder Woman, which was a terrific DC movie.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to say terrific. It was good.
It was good.
Yeah.
It was the best of the bunch.
It was great. It was
great.
It was
Yeah.
amazing. But I'm not gonna go and say that it was the best thing we've ever seen
Yeah,
because
yeah.
it was
Right.
when it
Yeah.
apples to apples.
Exactly. I'm more of a Marvel fan, but I also hate on Marvel because I think that even as fun as Thor Ragnarok was, that we mentioned before, it's like I'm so sick of the formula. I'm so
Yeah.
sick of the amounts of crazy comedy, and they're so afraid to commit to their cheesiness. You know, that anytime there's like a cheesy 360 pan shot, like in Guardians, something funny or stupid has to happen to just kill the moment.
Yeah.
You got to just accept the cheese, and that's why I loved Patty Jenkins when she directed Wonder Woman. She was just like, you know, we have to accept the cheese. We have to accept, you know, things. This is a superhero movie, and you just got to go with it. And I feel like that's what Wonder Woman did so well.
What about Batman Begins, man? That's actually my favorite one.
Oh yeah, but that's
I
the
just watched
Nolan,
that
yo,
the
the
other day.
Nolan movies are in a whole other
Yeah.
tier.
Yeah,
Those are
that's
just
what
like
that's
those are like, you
when
know.
I was sick just last week, dude, I just like stood at home and I watched a bunch of like Batman shit. I watched Batman Begins, and then I watched like Batman Year One. Then I watched I watched the really bad Batman Killing Joke animated.
The comic was amazing. Though.
Did you see it?
Yeah.
No, I haven't. No, okay, I haven't seen a Killing Joke, and I probably never will because I've heard some things in it
Yeah.
that I'm just like.
I was very disappointed
yeah,
too.
I heard that.
Because I watch a lot of the DC animated movies. And I'm a
Yeah.
fan of them
I
too.
love the Red Hood, dude. Red Hood was like under the Red Hood is one of my favorites.
Yo, I still to this
it's
day,
so
I
good.
mean, I was telling Ben about it. The 2008, I believe, Wonder Woman animated series is still one of the best, if not the best one. And I was fucking good. I don't know why they just always do it right with Wonder Woman.
Well,
Yeah, she just has a really good, really good story.
Yeah.
But that's what I love about DC. I'm really looking forward to the Gaslight Batman one that's coming
Yeah, that
out
looks
soon.
really
I saw a few clips of it. And I was like, this looks legit. I hope this turns out
yo,
to be really
that
good.
Batman Ninja, man. That's what
Yeah.
I'm. I
It looks
ain't even
insane.
kidding, man. I ain't even kidding. Like, there's so many like
Oh,
people
man.
hating like on the title. It's like, man, you guys are in crack. Like this,
That's
like forget like they call it whatever they want. Like
Yeah.
Batman hamsters for, but like,
Yeah.
but like have
I'd
you
watch that shit.
But like that, yeah. I mean, first of all, it's Batman. You'd watch it, but I mean, the animation for Batman Ninja looks insane.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and they got such an like amazing team behind it. It's
That's cool.
Who's
yeah.
the studio who's doing it?
well, you have like it's a bunch of different people, but I'm trying to remember. I think it's like the one that people who animated Gurren Lagann. I think
very
I
good.
think they're doing something.
Yeah,
behind
I
it.
forgot the. I know the art, the
And-
main director's
and-
name. I totally forgot.
And then
yeah.
there, I believe it's the people who did the music for Samurai Champloo.
He's dead.
Nujabes or whatever, but he
Nujabes
passed
has
away.
passed
He
away,
passed
though.
away. Yeah, so let's say.
Uh,
But I'm
and
saying, but I don't know. Did he do all the soundtrack or did he
did
just
most
do
of
the
that.
intro?
It's him. No, he did
Oh.
most of them. No,
Oh,
there you go, man. He
Did
came
most
back
of
from
it.
the dead.
Yeah.
No one, no
I
one,
mean,
di-
you
no
can
one dies
sa-
with DC, man. No one dies.
You can sample his music, which
Yeah,
I know
it's
he already
so good.
probably samples other things.
Yeah.
So it's like,
But anyways, yeah, I watched Killing Joke,
Right, right.
and it was bad, dude. Like-
yeah, yeah.
Like they changed, they took some liberties with the story that they probably shouldn't have taken. I don't know. Like, have any of you guys seen it?
I watched it.
comic.
I watched it right when it came out, man. And
I heard
my
it.
workplace, I always say like my boss is Victor Luke. He's
Right,
the
of
biggest.
course.
He's the biggest DC nut. So we just he's always in our when we cover news stories and shit. It's always
Of course.
DC shit because he loves Batman. But so yeah, I watched it very very soon, and I know the issues that you're about to mention for sure.
Well, like spoiler alert, but Batman and Batgirl, they fuck.
Yeah. That's insane. That's
And it's just
insane
like,
to
what?
me.
That was
Yeah.
never their relationship.
Yeah, they tried to give Batgirl a lot more of an origin story, like the whole intro sequence and all that. That actually wasn't even in the book. They just didn't want. I don't know. They didn't want to really just write her off like they felt like the comic book
Had
did.
to,
They
man.
wanted to kind of give her a little bit more of a story.
But she turns into orc.
But it's like the Killing Joke is not like about that. Like,
Batgirl.
It
the
is.
story of the Killing Joke is Joker trying to prove that all it takes is one bad day.
Yeah,
one bad day
yeah.
to just turn
Ruin
a
the
person to turn someone's life around.
Yeah.
So the story is not necessarily about Batgirl, though it gives her an amazing story because
Yeah.
she becomes Oracle because
Yeah.
of it.
Yeah.
But it's trying to crack Batman. It's trying to crack Commissioner Gordon. That's the story.
Yeah.
I got
happened.
none of that in the anime.
Yeah, yeah.
That's why.
There you
go.
The thing I actually disliked the most about it, I think I was telling Ben too when we were in a long conversation, was the fact that some of the animation wasn't consistent. There were a lot of really nice and decently animated scenes, but there's one or few scenes, especially one where I believe Batman's going into the jail cell. And it just looked so weird. It looked like they outsourced it to another company.
Chinese
The art style was different.
Yeah.
The
Chinese art style.
the way the animation was moving, I was like, man, what the fuck is this? Because I know these movies are not very expensive for being DVD and Blu-ray releases. You know, you look at the budget on Wikipedia, it's like $1 million to $2 million.
All that money went to Mark Hamill, dude.
Well, Mark Hamill and
Did he voice it?
He did.
Oh.
he did. That
He's
was
the best.
that was supposed to be his
Maybe.
last. That was supposed to be his last role
That's
as a
sad,
Joker.
man. He was so.
And then I don't know,
good,
is
man.
Kevin Conroy continuing Batman? I think
I don't know.
is.
He
has
was
to be.
in that one, but I mean,
He
Yeah.
has to be. He's the
He has
voice
to
of
be.
Batman.
So Mark Hamill, I understand, but I wonder who's going to be the new Joker. They're going to just hire Troy Baker?
we had Troy Baker or the guy
do
who
it.
played him in Batman: The Telltale series.
I didn't play that. That became free on PlayStation Plus.
Yeah, just check it out.
What?
Yeah, it's
This
like
month?
I believe
Oh,
it's this
but-
month. It's this month. So
And
add
he-
it to your
and he did
library.
a pretty
Yeah,
good
I should
job.
get. I should get the PS
You should
Plus.
add. Oh, you don't have PS Plus? Damn it, Ben. You're so.
When
you're
do
so
I get
Mex-
to play, dude? When do I
Yes,
get
yeah.
to play?
You're,
true, that's
you're way
true.
too Mexican, man. The reason why I'm so for PS Plus is not only the cloud saves, but also you just get your money back.
No, yeah, no, you
You
do.
know,
No, I
you get
know,
your
I
money
know.
back with
Yeah.
all of the
How,
shit you
how
get
many
for
of those
free.
free games have you played this year, Bear, or last year?
A lot of the Vita ones,
Oh,
for sure.
okay.
Yeah. A lot of the
Vita
ones on
ones.
Vita. Yeah, I'm very like Downwell
Like,
was a
what,
free one that
two
I
games?
still play to this game.
That was like
Probably
$5
You,
game. though.
you, no, you truth
Yeah.
be told, when
well,
I,
like probably about 10 to 15, and then you'll also get the online services. So
I mean, when I had PS Plus, like, yeah, whenever I wasn't playing Overwatch, I was playing those PS Plus games. Like, legit. No,
There's some
'cause they
good
were-
ones, dude. There's some really
Oh,
good ones.
yeah.
Like I stand by it. Fury was one of my favorite games.
Fury's good.
Fury's
Yeah.
Like
It's coming to
Dude,
Switch.
Life is Strange was free this year.
Yeah.
Like, fuck, there's some
Dude,
good
last
fucking
year-
games,
Phantom
man.
Pain, dude.
Phantom Pain.
That's
Yeah, I had that.
insane.
Yeah, I had
Everyone
that,
had it already,
yeah,
but
yeah.
I feel
But
like
that's crazy. That's what I mean.
that's
It's like you
crazy.
get your cash back.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, you do. You
Yeah.
totally do.
I just find some online places that sell it. I think there's a place called PC Game Supply.
Oh, that's
For all you guys?
suspect as hell.
No, it's very good. Trust me. So because in Canada they've upped the PS Plus price to like $80. I think it's a lot more now. But you can still
Yeah, it's
find
like $79.
there's still some places that are selling the old cards that are like 50 or 60.
Yeah.
So you can still
Where's-
just buy
you
two.
guys send me a
Use
link.
that
I got
coupon
you,
code
dog.
Babe.
I
Send
got
me
you,
a
man.
link.
I gotta hook up the top tier crew too. That's why I let you guys know. There's some good websites. There's more than
My
that.
brother's paying for my PS Plus, so I'm good. Right?
Yeah.
I set Billy up with
word.
the account sharing.
Oh shit! Well, you guys are nam scam and everything, dog.
You can
But
actually
Billy,
use
it's
that
a
with,
real
like,
nam scam. 'cause
It's actually Vietnamese.
yeah, exactly. That's good stuff. Who's he doing it with, Chriselle?
My brother.
No, yeah.
Oh, my brother. Okay.
That makes sense.
Makes
I mean, you guys play the same stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
2K.
NBA
Are you
2K.
playing
Like
2K?
that's
No, my
it.
brother is. My brother is,
Yeah, so you've had your PS4 for a little while now,
Yeah.
a few weeks.
It's a month now, man.
How's Final Fantasy?
You have a pro?
I have a pro.
Oh, yeah, that's
He's
right.
It's great. I
4K.
enjoyed it. I'm enjoying.
Are you
it.
done?
I'm almost done.
Oh,
I
damn.
think.
Oh,
I should be. Like I'm just like you said. I over leveled.
And you're playing in 4K and everything?
Of course.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
It's good. Yeah,
So-
I know the Final Fantasy is not the most pretty game because I think to do
I think
the,
it's a good looking game.
it's a good looking game, but like any game that was patched to do 4K
Yeah.
is usually like
It wasn't
not as
built
good.
for
But if you play a
4K,
game like
for sure.
Horizon in 4K, which is
Yeah.
ground up built for that.
Yeah.
Like I remember playing Horizon
4K
in
and
4K,
HDR, dude, makes
and
a
then
huge
Whitney, because she beat it, she moved it to like our bedroom 1080p plasma TV, which is a great TV. But like I was like, damn, this looks like ass. Like I was like, because it's like it's really like playing that game on a 1080 to 4K is a huge difference.
Of course.
You can tell it was really made for 4K.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
So
I was
yeah.
playing Final Fantasy 15. I'm like on chapter I don't know like 5 or 6 or something.
Mhm.
But then I'm like I
Well,
can just pound through it right now.
Well, yeah. Well, the thing is, I was telling you is like because he's like, well, I'm like level 45 and I'm only in chapter 3. I'm just like, well, chapter 3 is like that's like a huge chunk of the game, and then the last like 10 chapters just go by so fast.
yeah.
So
Yeah, I'm
that's
not
just
really
the
into
game's got
story
weird
right now.
pacing.
Yeah, I'm not really into the story that much because I don't even know what the hell's going on. But then I've been told by Gary, it's like, hey, you actually got to watch the prelude, this.
Yeah,
before-
do you know what, honestly,
Too much.
it's
I know Gary
Yeah.
loves that game. He's a friend of ours, by the way. I don't know. The game to me, I think, was still more of the more disappointment side. It didn't review as well as I expected, and I don't know. I just expected a little bit more from it,
Yeah,
as just like
I-
because the story.
It was better than 13.
it was better than 13.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
Oh,
But
yeah.
then
But that's not a
everything
high
is-
bar,
No,
dog.
that's a low ass bar. But
Yeah.
then that's what happened. Like it
Yeah.
wasn't better than Kuni.
It wasn't better than Persona 5.
I haven't played that yet. Which
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I mean, but everyone
Persona
talks so
5
good about Final Fantasy.
But I
so
still,
think, like,
that being said, yeah, like I still liked 15.
15
Like,
was
And
like, it was
like I
enjoyable.
liked the characters.
Yeah,
The
characters are great.
story is like one of the weaker parts of the game. The story is
Oh, it's
some
terrible.
nonsensical garbage,
Yeah.
especially once you get to the end. It's just like,
Isn't that a big part about Final Fantasy? The story.
Well,
At
yeah,
least
it's
to me, it
all-
was.
Yeah, it was. No, that's
exactly,
very true.
exactly.
Yeah.
So that's why
So-
I wanted to go
story
into
is-
the
yeah.
story, but I'm like, this is really weak for me right now. So right now, at this point, I'm like, I'm just gonna finish this fucking game.
Yeah. If you could borrow Persona 5.
Oh, I got Retel.
He already
Oh,
has
yeah,
my
Retel's-
copy.
Okay, good.
Of
course.
Retel buys all the games. I just play them.
We need to play Destiny 2 with us, dog.
Destiny
okay,
2's
I tried playing Destiny. Can't get into it.
The
I-
Destiny 2?
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Can't
that's
get
fine.
into
I
it.
understand. This one is a bit of a. Was really fun for the first
Yeah.
while, but it was a little too rewarding. There's
Dude,
a-
I called it as soon as I like a week into the game. I'm just like, I'm getting so much shit so
I know,
quickly.
I know.
It's
It's
just like,
like
I feel like
each
I'm not
day you
working for
play,
anything
you'll
here.
pretty much get an exotic.
Yeah,
You know what
it's
I mean?
insane.
It's not even. It's not
Yeah.
even that. It's like, man, I don't want to grind
Yeah.
anymore.
Mhm.
Like, that's why I can't play any MMOs. And
Well, you
well,
gotta. You were playing by yourself though.
even that. Like,
Like I've never. I don't think I've played Destiny 2 by myself like once. I've always been playing with like my girlfriend or
yeah,
with Bear or
I just
whoever.
I don't feel it, man.
Yeah, that's
Like,
okay. That's fine.
It's totally fair though.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll probably like hop on to.
It definitely didn't have the mystery that Destiny 1 did. Destiny
No.
1 definitely had a lot of missed opportunities, but it still had that sense of reward.
Yeah.
You know, like when we were all doing a raid and then someone gets a fucking exotic. It was
So,
kinda
dude,
like,
someone would pop off if we got like a legendary, a fate
Yeah.
bringer. We'd be like, oh,
yeah, fate ring. None of us got a
none of it. Except Whitney,
Whitney
on
on
her
her-
very first time. I don't like head cannons.
Yeah. No, it's such a good gun. I never
It's one
even
of the
got one.
best
And I've
guns in
done
the
vault to glass like 50 times, man. I was like,
Your votes are in.
Whitney gets it from the first. try.
yeah, no, it's so crazy.
I don't like
That's
head
fun.
cannons. No, it's like one of the best freaking guns in the game.
Yeah.
It was the one I wanted the most. But
I know.
Destiny was good times.
It's good times. It's still, I still have faith. I still think
Yeah.
they can fix it. I'll still go back.
Yep.
I'm just gonna wait a little bit.
Did you
'cause
buy the DLC?
Yeah, we have it.
Destiny
Okay,
1 or
ooh,
2?
I got it for you. I
Two?
got
We're
it for
talking
you.
about 2?
Two.
Yeah.
Two.
Don't worry, Retel. I got you.
Like I said, if I have time, I'll play. But I really don't have time. That's the
Yeah.
thing. I don't
course.
have time.
Yeah.
It took me a month to even get to level, like what, chapter 5 in Final Fantasy 30.
Yeah, I'll take your time with RPGs.
Oh, yeah.
you
Granted,
digest.
I did spend like so much like
Yeah.
time.
Even with Destiny, man, you just take it slow. You digest and
It's also the
process. That's
holidays,
the
too. I
word.
know, busy and shit.
Yeah, you can't go overboard with these games. It really turns repetitive. You
Yeah.
need to have something really in you to game for like 8 to 10 hours straight.
Can't
like
do that anymore, man.
It's insane.
It's
Yeah.
becoming harder. Yeah, as I age.
I can't
but
even do it anymore, man.
I just want to go out and climb. That's I can do that for like 3 or 4 hours until my body just completely shut down.
But I realize as I'm getting older now, I'm enjoying indie games the most.
Dude,
out of
I'm the
anything.
That's
same
where I'm
way.
at, dude.
I am
And
so
it's
happy.
it's not, and I
Cuphead,
100% promise
Cuphead
you guys
is
because I get
closed out.
I get a lot of games free from work too, and well, yeah, I get a lot of the more recent games, but just something about indie games, I feel like they're trying to be more creative with them. They're really trying to stand out.
That's where all the risks are being taken. dude, in indie
Exactly.
games.
So like I was mentioning, I mean I've talked about it before. Like Enter the Gungeon was like my favorite game of like last year.
Dude, I finally bought it.
Did you like
Oh,
it?
it's
Dude,
so good.
it was a winter sale, man. I
Did
got
you
it
like
for
it?
$8.
Just let me know. Let me know your review.
Dude, I've only played for half an hour, but like
Oh.
I'm dying. Like
Oh,
whenever
yeah.
when I get half the chance, like I want to because
Ben,
I
that
love
is a
it.
game where you as a player will get rewarded. You will get better,
Yeah.
not the game.
Yeah.
You will not progress and have some XP bullshit and
No,
shit
no.
will unlock and make it. It's not that. It's you will as a player. You will fail. You will fail. You'll fail. But each run, you'll get further and further. By the end of it, you'll be fucking flawlessing bosses.
well,
I
dude.
flawlessed and beat that game like over 10 times now.
I bought it again
And
on
it's
Switch, dude, just because I.
yeah,
it's
that's right. I
so
played it
good.
on
Oh,
Whitney
it's fun.
Switch.
Dude,
Yeah,
It's
like
great.
personally, I love those roguelike games.
roguelikes are
like
awesome,
like
yeah.
they're just when they like again Enter a Gungeon where it's like you never know what you're gonna expect.
Guys,
like,
try Enter the Gungeon, guys, please. And it's so freaking good.
It's
It's
great.
such an amazing game. I
Like a
have
couple
no
years
words.
ago, like I can't remember the name of the game I was telling you guys about.
Rogue Legacy.
Rogue Legacy.
Yeah.
Like that game was just
Good,
so like
yeah.
and the story was amazing. Like,
I need
the
to
story
try
was
Salt and
actually amazing.
Sanctuary. I hear that
Yeah.
one's really good.
That one's it's not a
Yeah.
roguelike. It's more like a 2D Dark Souls. Type
Oh,
game.
okay, okay.
But Rogue Legacy is a true roguelike.
Like
game.
that,
It's
Yeah.
great.
and again,
Downwell is good,
everything
too.
about that game was phenomenal from beginning
Yeah.
to like
Oh,
the
it's so
story
good.
was good, but just the fact that like dying was actually part of the story.
Yeah.
Like it was
That's
phenomenal.
good. Yeah, yeah. You learn from it, and it's like a lot of people like Binding of Isaac is a great game too.
Yeah, it's very
a lot of
popular.
people
That's
love.
probably like the most
I'm-
popular
Yeah.
roguelike.
Yeah, it is the most popular. I still think Enter the Gungeon's much better than
Some people,
Binding
yeah,
of Isaac.
I was like on the subreddit for it, and like a lot of people are comparing the
That's
two.
very it's a
It's
very
very divided.
comparative, but I think Enter the Gungeon. It's just the quality of it and the guns you unlock. Like when you start unlocking it, there's so much Metal
Yeah.
Gear guns, and there's so
Yeah.
many guns from a lot of games you love. You get the Dead
There's a lot of
Space
references,
Plasma
dude.
Cutter, and it's amazing. There's another game I was been playing. It's like Absolute Drift. It's called. It's so fun. It's really really fun.
A
It's like
racing
a
game?
it's
Some
a racing
Initial
game, but it's
D
like a
shit?
top-down racing game, and it's all about. It's not about speed. It's about getting the perfect drift corners, dude. You start with the AE86, dude. It's so fun, and I absolutely
Yeah, it's
loved
good.
it, and yeah, really really cool. I mean, playing Inside and. Inside was a big title
yeah.
from before. I wasn't as in love with Inside
Yeah,
as some
me
other
neither.
games. Yeah,
I enjoyed it, but it was like,
Yeah, I
after
was
one
kind of
was
like
done.
I expected a little bit more, especially with how highly reviewed it was.
Yeah.
I was like,
And,
I'm
like,
a
Limbo
little
was so
disappointed
great,
in all these reviewers.
Dude, and they took like 6 years making that game.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they're
Hold
Beautiful
up.
team.
And you guys still haven't played Lisa, have you?
no, we haven't. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I know. I need to. I'll promise. I'm
Dude.
going through more and more indie games. I'm feeling I'm having a much more connection to them as a gamer in this part of my life than I am to a lot of these titles that are
Like,
coming out.
Lisa is probably hands down like one of the best RPGs I've ever played because it's downright depressing, but the humor of it is unlike anything
Yeah.
else. Like it's just it'll tear you down,
Really?
and it's because nothing. It's your decisions too that will just like break your own heart.
Yeah.
It's,
Wow.
I'm telling you, you gotta
try it.
Lisa, you gotta play it.
I mean, the one that's been the big conversation, which I'm a little too creeped out to try, is
Doki Doki Literature.
That's right, yeah.
Ooh!
Yeah, I'm gonna stick a pin in that right there.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk about it on the next episode.
Okay,
Because
okay.
that's one of the games I wanted to talk about.
Okay.
dope.
And I know Billy's looking at his phone. He's
Yeah.
got wrestling to watch.
Yeah.
And we're gonna wrap up this episode
Peace out.
of the Top Tier Podcast, guys. Thanks, Billy. Thanks, Bear. Thanks, Ben. And thanks to all of you for watching. And thanks to all of our patrons. Peace out, y'all.
Take care, guys.